Welcome to Before the Fight, another great instalment here of the show. As always, joined by my co-host Shannon O'Connell. Shannon, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Early Monday morning, awesome.
And Joel Camako, mate. Had enough coffee today?
I'm doing great, mate. 2 shots down.
He says that better than you say that.
He does, huh?
Well, no one can say it better than him, let's be honest. Now, before we get kicked off, mate, did I see that you were in a rap video?
Yeah, mate. Grand Prix Mazda Aspley. I can't tell you what song it was, but it could have been WAP. So, yeah, make sure you, make sure you watch it.
We're going to definitely tune into that one. Grand Prix Mazda Aspley, always doing great things. All right, let's get kicked off. So we've got a couple of fight nights that are coming up. Michael Zerafa, Anthony Mundine. From what we're hearing, it doesn't seem to be adding up across the board. Michael's a better fighter than this, probably deserves better. Your thoughts?
For Zerafa, it's more just a publicity stunt. I'm going to fight Mundine. I wanted to fight him since I was a kid. So is it going to improve him? No. Is there any better fights out there for him? There probably is, but right now in the rankings, to improve his rankings, there's not really any fights out there for him.
To be honest, I love Mundine. I think it's this fight's been spoken about for over a year, and I've always thought, please don't. But I get it. I get why he can't walk away from the sport.
But it's definitely going to be a big ask in front of him, very big ask.
Yeah, I think that Zerafa will get him out of there pretty quickly.
Now, a fight we were very interested in was Blake Caparello, Mozo Matagi. And just moments ago on Box Rec, it seems now it's now being moved to be advised. What have you heard?
Well, yeah, it's off the card, obviously, but I have to speak to Blake. I spoke to him actually yesterday, and I said, how's prep going? He said, yeah, it's going great. And he actually didn't mention that the fight's not on. So I'm hoping they're in negotiations right now, but for them to take the fight off the card, then I'm assuming it's off.
I thought Blake would just be too crafty, too experienced in the ring for Mose, but I think he's got a bright future ahead of him if he keeps his head down and keeps working hard. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. A lot of people have always sort of said Blake's not an exciting fighter, but I mean, you look at his fight with Trent Broadhurst and he came out ready to bang, and so I mean, he's obviously he's hungry. He's doing good.
Yeah, that was a great fight
I think
Trent.
that this fight if it was to go ahead, I think Blake's on a different level.
Then we're moving from there. We're going to Jesse White and Lachlan Higgins. Now, you know a little bit about this one.
Yeah, well, I've seen Lockie Higgins spar a few times. He does a lot of work with Emmanuel Carlos. Jesse White, I've sparred him before, and he's a pretty crafty fighter as well. I think it's a good fight. It's one of those fights that they're two names that the Australian public don't really know, but it's so evenly matched that it actually will be a good fight. Yeah.
Now, what we should mention is with Zerafa and Mundine, they've secured a WBA Oceania title for that one, and for the Blake Caparello fight, there was a WBA Oceania title as well. So they have secured a couple of great belts there. Well, if the Blake Caparello and Mosio Matagi fight doesn't come across, and it seems like your fight against Shanika would have to move up into the number 2 spot.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
How's prep? How's everything going?
Yeah, everything's going perfect. I'm probably a little bit ahead of myself. I'm going hard. So, but I guess that's good if I need to have a few days off here and there. And then I've got those sessions under my belt.
Because you fought so recently, let's compare it to where you were in camp with the Corey Farr fight. Are you feeling better, fresher, stronger?
Oh, so much better. I guess I put a lot of pressure on myself with the Corey Farr fight. Obviously, my first time dropping down to the division, so I was freaking out. What if I can't make it? And I put a lot of pressure on myself with that. That pressure has been taken off. I know I can make it. I know I don't have to stress about that. To be honest, I feel like where I'm at, I should be 3 or 4 weeks out, not 7 weeks out.
And are you sparring at the moment?
No, I'm having my first spar this week.
Excellent, very good. She's looking strong, Joel.
Want some rounds? Do you want some rounds with me?
I'll smash you.
I'll smash her.
Let's revisit that for a second. You've done rounds with Beck Hooker, so you should be pretty much warmed up for a step up against the shotgun.
So, I don't know. She's another level, this girl. Look at her. The stuff she does in training, I don't ever probably do it like in my own training, to tell you the truth. So I can't even compare myself to any of her training.
Good to see that they're getting a show on down there. It'll be the first show since the pandemic, so we're wishing Sam Labruna and the team all the best, and obviously it'd be great to see the pretty boy versus the man. That's going to be a good fight. We had our very first at home with last week with Liam Paro, and we had great success out of that, so thanks for that to all the team involved. This week we went to Body Shot Boxing, and we went to work with at Inner Sport with Ethan Law.
guys, I'm Ben Doverston from Doverston Health in Morayfield. I'm Ethan Law's strength and conditioning coach. So today we're going to run through his high intensity interval training session. So there'll be 3 sets on each station, 8 rounds through the 3 stations. Basically we're going to mimic his 6-round fight that's coming up. We're going to add a couple of more rounds on top of that just to get him prepped for that.
I just got done with my first strength and conditioning session for the week. Big Benny over there pushes me and makes sure I stick to the job and get strong. Just heading off to work, got to do a couple hours there, got to pay the bills, man, but yeah, it won't be long. We're just working a little sports store up here. Pretty cruisy, but we've got a couple of boxing bags in there. I just punch around in them when no one's in, but yeah.
So my name's Zach. We have Intersport in Morayfield. We've employed Ethan for going on probably 2 years now. You know, become so good at boxing, becoming so good at working here. Has been a real good process to watch. So yeah, we're super keen to see where he goes in the future, and yeah, we'll support him all the way.
That's where the magic happens, right? Pretty much it, all day, every day. It's like a second home to me at the moment, but it's a good place for everyone to come together and get off the streets and stuff like that, especially all the young kids around this area, like Kambosos and stuff like that. A lot of kids grow up rough, but gets them off the street here, keeps them busy. I've been with him since I was like 8 years old, so he's pretty much another father figure to me. He's always on my back about other stuff, always getting in trouble, but if I wasn't in trouble, that I think something's wrong. So but I appreciate him that much. He does all the hard work, puts in all the hard yards for me. I wouldn't be where I am at the moment without him. He literally cooks all my food at home and stuff like that. So.
Since he was 9, he came to Kambosos Gym. That's my brother's gym, Donny's. So I've taken him on since he was 9-year-old. And yeah, we continue training him now. Ethan's like another kid to me, like another son. Yeah, with his whole family, we're pretty close. So 3 years this March that me and Tanya built this place. Yeah, it means everything to us, mate. We help a lot of people. Troubled youth kids and some army guys with PTSD come here as well. So we help all them guys, and yeah, they're kicking goals. Yeah, he's looking good. He's in fight camp now. Hopefully March we'll get him another fight.
Look, stay clear from this locker. It will stink your nostrils out, man. I'll explain to you, eh?
Moving from there, we go straight into another quick one. Billy Dibb is fighting. Now, he's fighting against Joey Balon. Now, Dibb's been out for a little bit. We ran into him at the Capital Fight Show in Canberra, and he was mentioning that he might be coming back. He's had 46 fights, and he's been in there with some big names. Joey Balon has an MMA record of 1-1.
He's also a kickboxer. He's had quite a lot of kickboxing fights. He's tough. What kickboxer isn't tough? But he should get outboxed.
But Kai McKenzie's fighting on that card as well, and he's fighting against a guy you know.
Yeah, well, Kane Clark is another unorthodox fighter. He comes from a karate kind of background, kickboxing as well. He's a good fighter, man. He's putting guys to sleep. He's really unorthodox. Like, you think I'm unorthodox? Look at him. He's just like southpaw, jumps in, backwards. So I think Kane edges the fight out.
I think you're right. I do think you're unorthodox.
We'll go again.
Our gym of the week this week was Deception Bay, where we caught up with trainer Damien Smith. Obviously, Waylon Law talking about his upcoming fight with Frosty on the Ace Boxing Promotions, the trilogy for the Australian title. Here we are, gym of the week, Deception Bay Boxing Club. They keep the circle small, but it's all heart. It's in a community that thrives on boxing and needs it. Let's go and have a talk to Damien Smith and the team and what they plan for 2021.
Just making sure these guys here have got somewhere to go, somewhere to train and put in the best we can. 18 years, 19 years. Well, we started down at the D-Bay PCIC and they wouldn't give us any gear, so we come in and put it all together. It's taken a long time, but yeah, it's just got bigger and bigger. Been to 2 world titles, WBC World Youth title and IBA World title with Nugget. Waylon, WBC, Fight of the Year, and then the amateurs, they always do something good too. I've got Joe Kuntz helping me out at the moment. He's helping Waylon training in the mornings at the moment. Damien Brody, that's my cup man in the corner with us. I also use Mark Evans.
How long are you and Mark been around together?
Almost when we first started training. We've come against each other as trainers and then we've been mates ever since. So,
Good to have mates like that?
100%.
Yeah, a fair few things has changed, you know, with my fitness and my strength as well. Dee's recognised me getting stronger. I've definitely gotten stronger. I can feel it myself. So for us to come forward, you know, can stop him from coming forward, I guess, you know.
Just boxing in general just gives you a purpose, gives you something to do, keeps you out of trouble, so it keeps you on the straight and narrow. Everybody jumps in, does a bit to help everybody out, and we're like another family here.
More than half of my life I've been at this gym, so this place is like a second family to me. Oh, he's like my best mate. He's my second dad, pretty much. Oh, he's just guided me through like some difficult times, and like he's just been there for me. So he's just a real legend.
D-Bay all day?
D-Bay all day.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
As only train us as the coach, you know, he shows that love and respect to us as well, you know. So he's also there for the people who's been here for a long time, you know, like Chantel and myself, you know, like that father figure, you know, that mentor in our life that we all need, everyone needs, you know. So yeah, it's great, community-based gym, you know, so it's awesome. Yeah, this Deception Bay Boxing Club's nothing but love, family and friends here, you know. But we always put in the hard work, and like whenever one's down, we always pick each other up to help ourselves get back up there. Everyone says, you know, boxing's a lonely sport, but if you've got a good gym and good people behind you like this here, like I've got here, it's amazing, it's really good.
D-Bay all day?
D-Bay all day, brother, 100%.
Right, wouldn't go anywhere else?
Nowhere, no way. I only care if someone offered me $100,000, brother, stuff that, but you know, I wouldn't go with him, brother.
It's pretty busy. Waylon will be busy, he's already booked a couple of fights coming up.
Couple?
Couple.
Now, there's been a few developments in the Justice Huni Porter fight, which has got a lot of the football stars on it as well. Now, let's talk first about Huni Porter. Huni's at the moment in camp with the AIS, getting ready for the Olympics. He's down in Canberra, but he will be flying up to Townsville for this fight against Porter. Joel, what do you think about it?
Justice Huni is a great boxer, as we know, and he can punch. I think it's more, this fight's been put together, tough dude that hasn't been stopped. They want Justice to go out there and make a statement by stopping him.
No one in Australia is going to match it, even go the distance with Justice.
I think, but Joseph Goodall beats Herman Purcell, and then that makes for a better fight with Justice against Joe Goodall. What do you think?
Yeah, 100%. That's the better fight for Justice in Australia. I still think that Justice is that little bit higher level than even Joe. Joe's too inactive. He needs to get a bit busier. I think that's a fight that they could build up towards.
Joe, promising amateur career, had a lot of talent, but yeah, that time out does make a difference when you're going up against a kid that's continuously active. Joel?
Yeah, I think he needs couple more fights before he goes up against someone like Justice. I don't know. I think that Joe needs
Justice's
more.
footwork just makes anyone dizzy.
His
It
angles,
does.
like he has got an amateur style, but he does throw in the body shots and that like a pro. He's been sparring pros for years since he was a
It's
young
like
kid.
he's got the amateur style with the heavy-handedness of it. Like
That's the best way of saying
the
it.
amateur style with the intention to hurt.
That's the best way of saying it, because you're noticing that in his earlier amateur career, it was very amateur, but now since he's been moving around with Jai and the likes of that, in the last few years you notice him, he's really sitting down on them a little bit more in the amateurs, which seems to be slowing them up even quicker and making a big difference. People were questioning if he had that power when it came to Arsene Fossa and obviously against Fayapaloo as well, Django, and we noticed that, we really did. The fight was stopped at the right time for Django, and definitely for Arsene Fossa. So I'm thinking that Justice is only going to go from strength to strength down here. Getting back to the LAS where he's comfortable, I think he's going to level up again with speed and angles and punches in bunches, and it's just going to be even more devastating towards the second half of the year. But yeah, look, a great card coming up there in Townsville as well.
Good on the footy players for getting in there and having a crack. It shows them how hard our sport really is. Not one footy player will ever get out the ring and go, that was easy.
Yeah, it's good watching like the NRL players go hammer and tong and just swing. It's like, back in the day when our mates go into the garage and you start punching on, like it's always good to watch. But then Justice Huni's obviously fight, but it'd be good to see Zalewski and Vegas Larfield's return after his big fight overseas.
Hopefully Zoo and Hogan has the contract pretty much together by the end of this week. Would be nice to see for that one to be locked in. And then they're obviously trying to look for an opponent for Gallen on that next one as well. And a location too, which would be good to see where they're actually going to try and have that Zoo Hogan fight. But I think from there, that's the one that we're going to be trying to kind of aim for and look towards. But yeah, it'd be a good one, Zoo versus Hogan.
Yeah, I believe the Zoo versus Hogan fight's a good fight. It's a fight I actually want to watch.
It is a good fight. There's pressure on both fighters. Obviously, Hogan wants to show people that he's still around, but Zoo needs to stamp the fact that he's better than all these guys.
I think if the Dennis Hogan that fought Mangoya comes out, it'll go a little bit longer. But I think Tim is on another level. I think he beats Hogan, but I think it'll be a great fight, and I think he beats Zerafa as well. We also spoke to Glen Jennings last night via a Zoom call in regards to what it takes to be a manager in 2021. A few boxing stories there, obviously from his amazing career, starting out with Tszyus and then obviously training Tim at the moment, and a few insights as to what they have planned at Team Zoo 2 for 2021. And this is what Glenn had to say. Now, there are so many stories out there of sacrifice, obviously coming from fighters and trainers, but some of the unsung heroes that you don't get to hear about, and one of them is here, manager to the stars, Glen Jennings. How are you?
Thanks for having me on the show, mate. I'm a fan of Before the Fight. You've got a couple of my favourite fighters there as co-hosts, Shotgun Shannon and Joel Camilleri. I quite enjoy it, mate. You're doing a great job.
Mate, thank you very much. Now, you've been, you're obviously managing Team Zoo at the moment, but that's not where you started your career. I just want to shed a little bit of light here. When I was a young fella, my father took me along to the fights and he said, now there's a good young fighter on here. He's fighting a Olympian named Daryl Hiles, and his name is Tszyus. And we watched that fight, and that was the very first time I ever saw Tszyus fight. So take us back. When did you start managing?
Well, look, as you know, Cos came off the back of the World Amateur Championships with Bill Morty and Johnny Lewis, and it was 1993. It was some time after that. I think 6 fights in or something like that, where I had to go down to pick Johnny and Kostya up out of Sydney and bring him to Newcastle for a police boys show thing, and Kostya and I became mates. And to be honest, most of our career, that was always first and foremost the mateship. Then we had this very small team of people, of which I was privileged to be a part of, and helped manage him right through to the end of his career in the UK against Ricky Hatton.
One of the saddest days of my life watching that 11th round.
The aftermath of that was for Kostya, very difficult time. Having been to the highest of the mountains, it's always hard for fighters to try and deal with the end of the career. And I recall having a chat to him on the flight coming home, and I think everybody was of the opinion, and everyone agreed that he'd done enough. There was nothing left to prove, and so he rode on into the night, and hasn't come back since, which is wonderful. He's stayed true to his word.
Now, taking you back to the point that you said that friendship comes first.
my view on boxing management is if you can have a close personal relationship, that's wonderful. But there's also a switch where it says this is business and this is how we're going to do it, and it's has to almost be my way or the highway, which allows him to completely switch off, focus on his job. And in the background of all of that, there's a mentoring process. If like myself, you've had a few years around the block, it's wonderful to be able to try and bring these young guys along, both in business and life, as well as their chosen sport.
I beautifully said. That really sums up what it takes to be a manager in 2021, yeah?
I think so, mate. I think so. I mean, Tim's an exceptional example, and there are so many of them. I can't believe the quality of fighters we've got coming through. They're all young fellas, and they all have an opportunity in front of them that shouldn't be held back because of poor management or poor decisions. And they only have a small window of opportunity. These guys have fights laid out in front of them by promoters. The manager's job is to make sure that he extracts the very best deal, the very best circumstances, and with always a background view to make sure that their health and well-being and future is well looked after in that process. That's my job. I do that for Tim. I look at every case scenario on what is the best outcome for us as a team. And Tim gets the benefit of that because we are very small and we are very compact and we don't make a lot of noise and we just get along with it. He's only been fighting 3 years and he's at 17 fights. So the numbers speak for themselves. We stay busy and we prefer to say what we need to say in the ring rather than outside.
Off that serious note, are there a couple of special fun moments that you can remember over the career, either with Kostya or with the business or with Tim? Anything that stands out that brings a smile every time you think about it? There's so many memories. I think if you looked at the two boys, the two fighters, and while Tim's only 3 years in, the big adrenaline drive for me with Kostya would have to be the Zab Judah camp at the MGM Green. One of Australia's folklore fights where Kostya took care of Zab in the second round, but the lead up to that fight was quite remarkable. Very, very stressful time for me. Very small team compared to an entourage of 60 odd that Zab had, including 50 Cent and Mike Tyson, and it was pretty heavy. Wrapping him out to the ring. It was enormous. That was a massive hype up.
Yeah, and we just again quietly turned up and no expectation from anyone in media that Kostya was going to win this fight. Nothing. It was just all Zab, and we took that one and we quickly scuttled onto a plane and flew back to Sydney very promptly after that.
Now, as a bit of a hobby, much like myself, you're very much into cars, but not anything like me, way more than I am. And you had the museum Lost in the 50s. That was great, seeing the Coke memorabilia, some brilliant cars. One of my dream cars, 62 Corvette I've seen in there. But did you own a Batmobile?
I did. I had quite a few of the movie cars. That museum was a culmination of about 35 years of collecting, many of which I picked up in my times in the US with Kostya. Kostya was a car guy as well, and I brought him back from the US a beautiful 68 Corvette Roadster. At the peak, I think I had about 140 cars. I think we sold at the auction about 110, something like that. And then we had multiple auctions that followed that where we sold out all the memorabilia. And they all went to wonderful homes. And that's the other thing. When you've got a lot of cars, if you don't drive them, they're like us. They get old, they get tired, they get cranky, and they start to break and wear down. So it was time for me to allow them to go to the next custodians. And the Batmobile went to a big collection in Sydney. I had the Back to the Future, Future DeLorean. And I've got a DeLorean still to this day that's a driver. It's a standard DeLorean. They're fun cars. And we had the Eleanor gone in 60 seconds, which one of Timmy's sponsors bought.
We're going to hit the stop on the button there. But, mate, an absolute pleasure having you on before the fight, bringing an insight on what it takes to be a manager in 2021.
Thanks, Rob. And keep doing what you do, mate. It's important that we get word out around Australian boxing because we've never been in a healthier place, and so many terrific young guys and terrific young teams out there doing great stuff. So
let's keep supporting them and acknowledging them and giving them a chance to get on your show as a reward for their efforts. Good on you, mate. You're doing great things.
We're also going to touch on Teofimo Lopez moving away from George Kambosos and towards the Josh Taylor fight. Obviously, that way he doesn't have to travel to Australia in quarantine, and a much bigger fight. And you can see why he'd want to go towards that fight.
Yeah, I do see why he'd want to go towards that fight. Bit unfair on George Kambosos, what he's done to get to that mandatory position, but I know if it makes more money, it makes more sense.
Obviously wishing the best for George. Love to see him get that fight, get all the gold and get all those belts, because I definitely think that's going to be an absolutely cracking fight if it does happen. And like you said, Joel, George definitely deserves that opportunity.
He's probably thinking, why would I fight George Kambosos and possibly risk losing a fight against him, where I can go against someone who everyone knows are Josh Taylor, and if he loses against him, at least it's kind of explainable.
And he can get the rematch out of it, yeah.
And also not having to leave your own country.
Yeah, which is a big one these days, and we have to be honest, that's a big one.
Is George open to fighting him in America?
I think George will fight anywhere.
Yeah.
George will fight on a construction site toilet. I can tell you that right now. He is a killer, and he will. If they can't get it to here, Australia, then he will make his absolute best to get overseas and make that fight happen. So, Camako Carpool, mate. Joel, this week, who'd you have in the car?
So I had the 3 ring girls from Ring Girl Oz, thanks to Jen. So I had Jen, Angel, and Minky on the shows. The couple went really good. Usually we drive around for 20 minutes, but ended up driving for about an hour and a half. So it was a good show. They were asked a few random questions and that. It wasn't all about boxing, which is good. So I think you all enjoy it. So make sure you tune in now. Expect, done expected. This is your first challenge, Jen?
Yeah, and I'll fail for sure.
Okay.
Will it stay, Joel? If it doesn't stay, it's your fault. So what are we doing? You're just gonna.
We're on speed dating.
That's gonna be our date night, right now. You're getting us McDonald's.
Yeah, 100%. I'm taking you guys for Macca's.
Are you actually recording though?
No, I'm not. Hey, young guys, Joel Camako Camilleri here.
Hey, going guys, Joel Camako Camilleri here with Ring Girls Australia.
She's not bad. So talk to me. What happened in this meeting?
Yeah, we did a meet and greet, we did interviews, we did training, we did photos, we did videos.
I would have done a photo shoot.
Oh,
I done my eyebrows last week, but they were a bit due.
Can I get a McChicken burger with steamed buns, please?
Thanks, man. Cup holder, please. Thank you.
Yeah, looks like.
Alright, so talk to me. I didn't get your names. How rude of me.
I'm Angel.
Hi, Angel.
Minky.
Angel and Minky. Are they your names?
Well, I should have been introduced. But
Stage names or Jesus?
Do you need to be fed, Joel? Really bit my fingers off. No, I can do everything. Didn't you know that? Everybody knows that.
Cook? Jesus, that's the first thing you asked. So, Minky, what makes you a great ring girl?
Well, I've never actually done it before,
okay.
So I can't be bad at it yet.
That's true. You can't be good either. No, I've been boxing for 14 years now. I've had 42 fights. Ooh. That's how I met this girl.
Yes.
She was like.
Oh, you know what we should have eaten?
Who's gonna keep eating them?
Calamari.
Calamari?
That's what happened to this guy in high school because he had the same last name. Everyone
called him Calamari, yeah?
I call him Calamari all the time.
Oh, really?
Oh, well, do you like eating calamari?
Yes.
See?
Oh, oi. Angel, why do you love being a ring girl?
It's not even like working. I love watching the fights, and then you just get to get up and go, and you just feel like the shit when you're up there. Oh, this is a good one.
You know this song?
Yes.
Were you even born? It was out? I want it. Alright, music's done now. We're all done.
Okay.
Just ran out of battery. So how many girls were there today?
How many? 8.
What was your favourite flight to work at? And why?
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
Townsville. I met you.
Good. There we go.
Oh.
Did you hear that? Or
yeah, we've got 2 shows, February, 2 in March, 1 in April.
we're going to do my introduction, okay? How you going, guys? Joel Camako Camilleri here.
What's up, guys? Joel Camako Camilleri here. You know what?
Do you want some calamari?
What's up, guys? Joel
Wait. Who changed to what's up?
How you go? Oh my.
Hey going guys, Joel Camako Camilleri here.
Ooh, goddamn.
She practiced, okay?
Yeah.
There is no way you did not practice that.
Jen, it's all about being yourself and being accepted for who you are, okay?
Yeah, always. I know that.
That's what I read on the news or some shit. I read on news.com.au. I can't believe you don't know what job I did. Like,
What? I probably do, but don't right now.
it's worse than being a male stripper. I don't know if that's bad. Huh?
Let's go.
I have a feeling I know.
He's gonna say Wait, do you have an OnlyFans?
No, you can't. I wouldn't do that. I'm going to give you 3 guesses at the job.
Oh, I know what it is.
Yeah, almost.
I know. Oh,
Wait,
okay.
don't say it.
All right, nice meeting you. Thanks for having me in the car. All right, at your
Awesome.
service.
Thank you, sir.
Have you got what's in your bag? What else in you?
I think
laptop's
that's it.
that?
Is that? Did she leave my laptop?
Currently driving with a light on, but for now I want to say thanks for tuning into Camako Carpool with those 3 beautiful ladies and the beautiful man in myself. Thanks to Grand Prix Mazda Aspley. Make sure you tune into Before the Fight every single episode this year to see my beautiful face and everyone else's beautiful faces. And yeah, bye, ladies.
There we are, rounding out the episode for this week. Another great episode. Looking forward to seeing Joel Camako Camilleri in not only the carpool, but also the rap video for Grand Prix Mazda Aspley. And looking forward to seeing you back at training. I'm Rob Schoff, and you're watching Before the Fight.